and welcome to episode 25 of Karlene's Anime Corner. And I am very excited today because I had Miss Erica come down and we had a nice long chat about Pokemon. And there's a lot to say about Pokemon, and we did not even begin to touch on it all. But with the April thunderstorms going on right now, it's a good time to stay inside and play Pokemon games, particularly Legends of Arceus. I've really been enjoying that one right now, and also Diamond and Pearl, the remakes. So, moving on in, let's talk about Pokemon. Today I'm here with Miss Erica to review the Pokemon Evolution shorts that got posted on YouTube by the Pokemon Company back in 2021. Hi, Miss Erica. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
It's early morning, isn't it?
Yes, but I mean, I've been staying up late all weekend playing video games, so it's more my fault than the morning than the time right now.
Gonna have to need an extra cup of coffee for work today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was playing games last night too, but I wasn't up that late. I went to bed at a decent hour. I've actually been playing the Pokemon Legends of Arceus game, so that kind of fits in with what we're talking today.
I downloaded that one too, and I was playing that one last weekend, but then I've been waiting for Horizon Forbidden West for, months. So of course, as soon as it downloaded on Friday, I was like playing that. Yeah, I'm waiting for Elden Ring to come out. I'm kind of interested in that one. So that's going to be, I think, my play all weekend game. Yeah, when that comes. But so I thought it was kind of funny. I was playing a Pokemon game and then I watched a whole bunch of little Pokemon shorts. I was thinking last week, I was like, I'm playing a Pokemon game and I'm recording Pokemon with Karlene next week. Yes.
Well, and it's kind of fun because Pokemon Legends of Arceus is like a medieval, archaic version of the of the Sinnoh region, I think.
Yeah, at least I think so. I think it's the Hisui region, and it's like you're transported back in time.
But they're talking about Sinnoh like it's a god, so I'm wondering if the region didn't get renamed to Sinnoh at some point.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
Maybe it's like a pocket dimension, or
I don't know. I love the little.
No idea what to expect.
But I love the little fireworks that go off when you catch your Pokemon because they're
cute.
Antique Pokemon balls, so they actually have
very cute.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on, we watched this collection of 8 shorts. They were made by the Pokemon Company for the 25th anniversary of Pokemon last year, and they showcased each a different region. So all of the 8 major regions in each short.
Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, and Galar.
Yay, you named them all. I don't think I could do that. I actually wrote them down, and I still don't think I could have named them all. She did that by memory, people. It's amazing. Unova was the first one that was based on a region outside of Japan.
Yes.
So that I found was interesting.
On, like, different United
City,
States.
I think.
Yeah, it was like New York City, and they took various United States regions and sort of like based them off that.
Yeah. I have to admit, I have not played a whole lot of Pokemon games, and I've never actually finished a Pokemon game. So,
well, I haven't played all of them.
I played a little bit of X and Y, and I got lost in the town, couldn't find the cafe they want me to find, and after an hour and a half of wandering around, I gave up and haven't picked it up since. If you make it that hard for me to find something and everything looks alike, I'm going to give up. I got further in Sun and Moon. I actually really like that region, and so that is one I definitely want to finish playing at some point. I started Let's Go Pikachu, which is in the Kanto region, and I'm currently playing Pokemon Legends of Arceus, so we'll see how far I get in that one.
I've played... So the first Pokemon game I ever played when I was a kid was Sapphire.
Okay.
So I love the Hoenn region. So I've played Sapphire and Alpha Sapphire all the way through completion. I've played Pokemon Sword all the way through completion, and then like X and Y all the way up to the Elite Four, and then I gave up. Because like for me, when I was a kid, playing Pokemon games was more about the story. So after you beat the legendary Pokemon and you resolve what's going on with the teams, I kind of wasn't interested anymore.
Oh, see, I thought once the story was over, you won the game and you were done.
No, so what I noticed is a lot of the plots with the Pokemon games is that you go from gym to gym, right?
You're right.
But there's also interactions with whatever the bad guy team is of the region. And in between the last gym and the Elite Four is when the showdown with the team and and you catching the legendary Pokemon happens.
Okay.
I guess so that you can have the legendary Pokemon with you when you go up against the Elite Four and become the champion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But for like little kid me who didn't really care for the grinding mechanics of Pokemon and was there for the story, I beat the legendary Pokemon and I beat the team, and that's the story, right? I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't want to grind my Pokemon up to fight the Elite Four.
Pokemon is definitely very grindy, but so are a lot of early Japanese RPGs.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of one of the reasons why I verged into the Pokemon Ranger games when they came out, because not quite as grindy.
Or Pokemon Snap. Grindy in a very different way.
In a different way. So I've done the Hoenn region, I've done the Galar region, I've played, and the Kalos region. I've played Sun and Moon, but for some reason I always get like stuck on the second or third island. And that's because
I'm not sure I even got to the third island.
Yeah, so it's not that I didn't like Sun and Moon. I actually really do like Sun and Moon. It's more like plugging in my DS and then remembering to pick it back up again.
Yeah. Well, and that's me. If I put down a Pokemon game, I don't pick it up again, which I guess that's just Pokemon games. I enjoy them while I'm playing it, but there's nothing that makes me need to play it.
Yeah.
Arceus might wind up being a bit different. I mean, it's the first Pokemon game where I actually kind of died.
Yeah, you can get attacked by Pokemon. It's weird.
Yeah, and
there's also like a whole mystery to it. I'm like, what's going on?
And the camera is not very intuitive to use, so I keep getting attacked from my blind side. So it's like Zubat comes from above and I'm dead, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, it's a very different style of Pokemon game.
Well, it's like they watched Monster Hunter, because I play a lot of Monster Hunter, and they went, okay, let's add some of these mechanics into Pokemon, but let's not actually give you the camera controls to properly dodge the Pokemon.
I like how they released a regular Pokemon game, which is the remake of
Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah,
I've been
playing Diamond a little bit.
Thematically, it makes sense because you're like transported back in time, and there's like the Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan and the Sinnoh God.
Which is why I thought it was an archaic version of the Sinnoh region, possibly. Yeah.
But it also gives people a chance to just play a regular Pokemon game.
And not die by Zubat. Now, technically, you don't die. You just faint and you lose some of your materials. Yeah. But still, it's
I have a small child, so I kept setting down my Switch to go take care of my small child, and I'd come back, and it would be like, yeah, a Pokemon attacked you and you died. And I'm like, oh, whoops.
Oh, you jumped too high off a cliff and you can die, too.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, not die, more like faint in the Pokemon way. You just get sent back to camp. Someone comes and gets you.
And that's the same thing with Monster Hunter. You don't officially die. The newer Monster Hunter games, this doesn't happen, but the older ones, the little felines would come, throw you on a cart, and like roll you off the cart in camp. So, yeah, you got carted, is what they call it. All right, now that we've talked a lot about the video games,
yes.
I'm going to say these shorts are so short, we're probably going to spoil them all. So before we get into talking about the actual shorts and spoiling some of it, what was your star review for these? What did you think of them as far as that, on a scale of 1 to 5?
1 to 5. I like the animation of them. I like the way that they explored the various like stories in such a small short way of the different video games in different regions. I'm also very generous when I give reviews, so I'm like, yeah, like a 4.5 to 5, because like, why not? It made me feel nice. I really enjoyed watching it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So, yeah, as I said, my review scale usually runs along a 3 was, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed watching it. I went to the end. If it's below a 3, there's a good chance if it was a longer series, I don't even finish it.
Yeah.
5 was, okay, I'm on the pre-order waiting list to get this on DVD when it comes out.
Well, you're not on the pre-order waiting list for this one because it's not coming out on DVD.
No. 5 in this case, I guess, would be a do I wish there was more type idea. I would, if they came out with more of these, would I watch them? So you said you were like a 4.5, 5?
Yeah.
Okay, pretty high.
I enjoyed watching it, and I loved them, and they made me feel nice, so.
Yeah. I'm going to say I'm probably around about a 3.5 to a 4.
Yeah.
So kind of a range, because there was a range of shorts. Some of them I liked more than others. The animation was good. Some of these I felt like oh, I wish they would make a whole movie out of this, because the animation was good, the storytelling was good, some of the voice acting was really good.
Yeah.
There was one voice actor in particular that I really liked, which was good because he did the whole narration for the short. But there were a few that, because I have not played the games, I was lost, and one in particular, I was like, I have a feeling they want to evoke a certain emotion in me, but all they got is confusion.
Yeah.
So I felt that by not playing the games and not being familiar with some of the background, I lost something on these shorts.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, the Pokemon Company made these with Game Freak to be for fans of the games.
Their 25-year anniversary of the Pokemon Company, and specifically meant to celebrate each game in each region. So yeah, if you haven't played, like, let's, for instance, I didn't connect very well with the Unova one, because I never played Black or White, or Black and White 2. So I wasn't able to really, like, I watched it and it was nice, but I didn't connect because I didn't know these characters. And that's what these shorts are. They're a celebration and a return to moments that you should already be familiar with.
Right. And that mine in particular was the one that was based on Pokemon X and Y with Lysander. As I said, I did not get very far in that game. I don't think the name Lysander even came up yet in my game when I was playing it.
Wow.
So I did not get far at all in that game. But I was very confused on what is his motives. Did he like commit suicide at the end? Did he really think he was creating eternal life? What? So am I supposed to feel sorry for this guy?
The funny thing about me, this is what I remember from playing Pokemon X back in college, is you run into Lysander right when you get to like the quote unquote Paris of the city, because the Kalos region is based on France.
Do I? Okay, then I must have met him. He made no impression because I do not remember him.
He every single time you run into him, he makes some sort of villain monologue, and then the Pokemon professor is like, "Oh, that Lysander, isn't he such a great guy?" And then directs you on the rest of the story. Okay, I'm like, that is clearly a bad guy. What are you talking about?
Okay, as I said, it sounds like he's got an interesting, like, wishy-washy character in the game too.
He's very black and white. Okay. Like, literally every single time I ran into him, he made some sort of like sinister villain monologue about, I don't even remember what. This is my impression that I got from him.
I'm going to say,
but nobody else saw it.
Even if you haven't played these games and you're not familiar with it, I still recommend watching these shorts because they're nice little tidbits of animation, and the Pokemon Company put them up for free on their YouTube channel. Yes. So,
and they're not even the only one. There's also Twilight Wings and Generations.
Yeah, Generations I watched. That was back for the 20th anniversary. And what's really funny is one of the videos, the one with Rayquaza, I can't remember now what it was. The Wish, I think?
Yeah.
The sequel to that is actually back in Generations when they actually go into space to fight the other Pokemon.
To fight Dialga.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Of these shorts, did you have a favorite?
The play.
The play. Yeah. That is one of my favorites too.
It was so pretty, and watching like the people in the Pokemon work together to do these really cool special effects on stage. So was the play gorgeous.
They're reenacting a legend of the region on stage, and they used the Pokemon for all their special effects and everything. And I love it in the Pokemon animations when they show how Pokemon help in everyday life.
Yeah.
So they're not just for battling. They're not just pets. They're actual like companions that help out with things.
Yeah. Like Pokemons have jobs.
Yeah. Well, that's what I liked about a lot of the Generation shorts was they showed the same thing. Like they focused on a detective in one of the Generations. Sorry, I'm going to bring up an older show. And Machop was actually the detective's assistant. Like they called him up when they needed to break down the door, and he was helping them, and he was just... And I was like, that is so cool that Pokemon are actually a part of society, not just people's pets.
Yeah, and it's like in the play, they didn't even just show Pokemon like doing the special effects and like as part of the performance. They also showed Pokemon in the audience having a reaction to the story as well as with their people. Yeah. That was great. Like the Totodile that tried to put out the fire. Or the Gengar that was crying at the end.
Yeah,
that was great.
No, yeah, that was one of my favorites. As I said, my least favorite was probably the Visionary, because I didn't get it. I really didn't. I didn't follow the story. I didn't follow
Lysander
what he was doing.
Sense.
It made no sense. So
Lysander doesn't make sense. He really doesn't. I guess
it was beautifully animated.
Yes, it was very pretty.
But I couldn't connect with any of the characters or anything that was going on.
Yeah. Like for me, it's Lysander with the Visionary, and then also the Plan, because I just am completely unfamiliar with the Unova region and with N. So
the Plan, I didn't really understand completely what was going on because I'm, again, not familiar with the game. But I love the villain voice narration on that. I love that guy's voice. He did a great job.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed watching it mostly because of that. And that's one of the ones I was like, I would like to see this as a whole movie, because I could see a lot of drama going on with this and with trying to make people give up their Pokemon, and finding out that his mentor that he follows so much is actually evil. And
yes,
and there could be a really good full-length movie story on that one.
Well, there is a full-length story. It's
it's in a game that I have to play for hours to get the story.
Do some Pokemon grinding and catching and defeat gyms and stuff.
So maybe I'll track down Black and White at some point and try playing it.
I think I have them. So if you want to borrow my little cartridges, you can.
Okay. Yeah. Or I might go on the before they close down the 3DS store and quickly download them.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I still play my 3DS quite a bit. We talked a little bit about our favorites, our least favorite. The animation changes a little bit in all of these, and we were talking a little bit about that beforehand. The first one with the Galar region, it is very clean and shiny animation.
Yeah, like the
faces
sense. On like Leon and Hop and everything, I was actually thrown off a little bit because it's kind of different than the more, I guess, chibi-esque like Pokemon that we usually see.
It looks like they had time to make real characters. Instead of a weekly, we're going to pump out an episode every week. Come on, people. We got hundreds of these to make. So, because unfortunately, that is what happens with a lot of Toei shows and things like the Pokemon, where it's like, okay, we need to have an episode every week. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But that being said, the Alola region, when they came out with Sun and Moon with Ash, I actually liked the more cartoony version of that. A lot of people didn't, but I did.
Oh, you mean like the actual anime?
The actual
with Ash
anime.
and Pikachu?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the changes that they like to, change from evolutions to a different anime for a second.
Yeah. Sorry. We're kind of talking Pokemon in general.
Honestly, we're just talking about Pokemon in general with a slight focus on one particular miniseries. Because there was Karlene asked me like, hey, I want to do Pokemon. And I'm like, okay, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about specifically?
I was like, I don't know, whatever you want.
Yeah, like the animation choices and even the story choices that they made for Sun and Moon, like where instead of having Ash go on the journey through the islands defeating all the gym leaders, because the Alola region doesn't have gym leaders,
it was
they have
more
team
of
leaders.
Exploring the region. And
and then
friends.
all the team leaders were his friends at school.
Yeah.
Like he went to school. That was different and interesting.
As I said, I didn't watch a lot of it, but out of the
Henry watched it, so I watched some.
Okay. Well, and out of a lot of what I've seen of the Pokemon animated series, which I have not seen much of it.
No.
I think I've seen some of the original series, X and Y and Alola are the main ones I've seen. And I enjoyed a lot of the X and Y that I saw. But it was, again, very much like the original series to a certain extent, where he's going from gym leader to gym leader.
It's sort of a very loose following of the games.
Yeah.
But not quite.
But Alola, I thought they did a really good job with the animation on that. And it's also one of my
the
favorite.
much more cartoony, where they have the more anime styling choices with some of them, like where they have like the faces to convey like extreme emotions or things like that.
Which, if you're going to do a cartoon, do a cartoon.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a Saturday morning cartoon in essence,
and I think they've definitely kept that aspect as they moved on to Pokemon Journeys.
Okay, which I have not watched any of that yet.
Bits and pieces again. When you talk about the main Pokemon anime with Ash and Pikachu, it's just so funny because the canon for that is both like everything that happened in the season before that still stays on with Ash, like Misty and Brock show back up in Alola to fight, to you know, hang out with Ash and have Pokemon battles, and they like talk to each other like they know each other.
Well, Lysander,
but you know, they're all still the same age.
Lysander keeps talking about making people immortal and eternal, and I'm just like, did Ash get caught up in that?
Obviously, he's just in the wrong Pokemon universe. He needs to go over to Ash's Pokemon universe. Nothing changes.
Yeah. But it's just, as I said, Pokemon has a long history, and between the games and the series, there's often this disconnect, if possible to say.
Which is one of the reasons why I enjoy the short series that they do with Evolutions and Generations. And then there was one like a while ago that was like a 6 like half-hour episodes that was specifically dealing with Red.
Oh, I vaguely remember a friend of mine telling me about those.
Yeah, I watched that back in the day. I really enjoyed it because it offered sort of a new perspective on Pokemon battles. Mm-hmm. And I was doing some online role-playing, like forum role-playing with Pokemon back in that day. So I like enjoyed watching that because it sort of gave me an idea on how to tackle the mechanics.
Yeah, I tried doing a Pokemon tabletop game that somebody had fan-made, and there was so many stats you had to keep track of for every single Pokemon you had. And I was like, okay, this is why it's a video game. Okay, one more thing on the shorts, to be honest. The one based on Diamond and Pearl.
Yes.
The Rival.
Yeah.
So I recently started playing the remake of Diamond. The character in there, Barry, I want him gone. He is annoying. And then I watched this short with Barry, and I'm like, I actually feel sorry for him. I want to cheer him on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing how having something like that can completely change your viewpoint on a character.
Yeah.
Because you see him struggling and trying again and again and failing and just wanting to like beat his dad in a Pokemon battle.
Yeah.
And he finally makes it. And his dad says, well done. And that's all he wanted. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for Barry now. So I like the fact the shorts kind of flesh out a little bit of the game and make it feel more cinematic than when you're playing the game.
Yeah, kind of like in the Alola region, how it focused on Lily and sort of her growth as well as a character.
That she started out so afraid of Pokemon, and then she was willing to like risk her life to save Nebby.
Yeah.
I like Nebby.
Nebby's great.
That's part of why I liked Alola so much was Nebby.
Nebby is great. I loved all the characters in that one.
Yeah, the gym leaders, they were some of my favorite character designs they've done. Yeah, Alola, I think, kind of hit it out of the park for me, which is why when Sword and Shield was coming out, I was like, it's not giving me the same vibe. I'm sorry, Pokemon Company. It doesn't appeal to me. I
enjoyed Sword and Shield. I think Leon has a terrible fashion sense. Maybe if his cape wasn't covered in like logos and badges and his sponsorships, I would be more okay with it. But
well, I do like the part in the little short to bring it back to Evolutions where he's kind of depressed and moping because he wasn't able to defeat the one Pokemon, and then this other kid comes and snipes it. Which we're talking about a legendary Pokemon, so
well, not like so. That happens. I've played that.
Okay.
So that's what happens is there's this catastrophic event that happens right in the middle of like the championship, and Leon, because you know he's the champion and that's the role that he's meant to play, is he goes up there to try and quell this problem. Yeah. And he fails. And then his little brother and whoever, you know, the girl or boy that you pick, which like small tangent, I really enjoyed that there was the avatar in every single episode, and they went back and forth between whether they were using the boy or the girl.
And also they almost never talked.
They never talked, and you hardly saw their face too.
Yeah, so they left it kind of like it could be your character.
Yeah,
from
like
the game.
itself, like the insert, but focusing on the side characters rather than that one instead. But yeah, that's what happens in the game. Is Leon goes up there, tries to beat it, fails. And then Hop and the other character come up, and they have the legendary artifacts with Sword and Shield,
the disco ball,
and the shield, and they're able to take care of it instead.
Yeah, I will say,
which happens a lot in Pokemon games. We saw it with Zinnia too.
The Pokeball they threw though looked a lot like a disco ball. Just gonna say
that's what happens when you do Gigantamax raid battles. You have this giant like glowy ball that looks like a disco ball, and you throw it at the Gigantamax
Pokemon is already ridiculous, but I think that was taking it to another level.
It really does take it to another level. But when the thing about like the game though is that the reason why this catastrophic event happens is because of Gigantamaxing. Yeah, I guess it is a catastrophic use.
Quick question: did you catch the Let's Go reference in the 8th and final episode of the Evolution series?
No, because I was distracted because Nick was coming in and he had some issues with the way that Pikachu was animated. But
I love the way people have opinions on the animation. I like chubby Pikachu personally.
I think it was something with like the face was too round. Like he was like, it looked like a Makuhita.
Okay. Well, the original Pokemon series, the first episode, Pikachu is a little bit on the chubby side, and I kind of like him that way.
Yes,
but that's my personal Pikachu. Like,
yeah. I was like, he's wearing a jacket. He has fashion. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Or leave her alone because I had the heart-shaped tail.
So what I love the fact is the last episode, they are trying to finish the Pokedex by finding Mewtwo. Yeah. And this one girl is very disappointed. She didn't make it there first.
Yeah, I think that's Blue is her name.
I thought it was Green.
No, Green is the boy.
Green is the boy? Okay. Whatever. They're all named after colors.
Yeah. As the original game.
And I don't think they ever actually mentioned their names in the actual short, so.
No. If you look at like the cast afterwards, those credits go by so fast. But I saw Green, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's Blue because they show you a quick shot of Red as well with this Charizard.
Yeah. So okay. Well, anyway, so she's very disappointed because she didn't finish the Pokedex, and Professor Oak is doing the whole talk about, oh no, it was a group project, and with all of you together, we now have a completed Pokedex. It's so exciting. And then he gets a phone call from somebody going, I've discovered a Pokemon that's all metal. That is straight out of the Pokemon Go games. The professor calls in Pokemon Go, calls the other professor and says, I discovered this new cool Pokemon. So I was just like, because they're talking about Meltown, the all-metal Pokemon that didn't that first showed up in Pokemon Go.
Okay.
And yeah, I only know this because I have a friend.
Is that the one with the hexagon?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so. And Professor Oak is like, see, there's more Pokemon to find. So and he turns and all the kids are gone.
Yeah.
And I was just,
they went out to get lunch or something.
Yeah. I thought that was a great ending. But I was like, so I guess Pokemon Go is working its way into the core Pokemon because it's even mentioned there. A little nod to it right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pokemon Journeys, Ash's companion, is named Go. And there is no video game correspondent for Pokemon Journeys. Like, they go to the Galar region, but it's not like Alola and X and Y. It's not. From what I've seen so far. So that's interesting. Did you catch the Pikachus in every episode?
Yes.
Wearing the little hats of the male or female avatars.
Yes. And I love the scene with the little Pikachu sitting on the wall, and it's the male and female one. Yeah. In one of the shorts. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could play Spot the Pikachu. Yeah, it was fun. And I am so proud of myself because I only learned like 3 years ago the difference between a male and a female Pikachu.
Yeah, it's a little heart-shaped tail.
And isn't that like the only Pokemon that has a difference between male and female?
There's a handful of them. Like not all of them do, but there are a handful of them that have those small differences between male and female. And I think that was introduced in the Johto region, but I'm not entirely sure.
So the other thing you can play is Spot the starter Pokemon.
Yes.
Because I think in just about every episode, even if they're not the main Pokemon, you see the starters at some point.
You do. And also in the ones barring Kanto, because Kanto had red, blue, and green in it, who each correspond with one of the starter Pokemons. There was also whenever you had the avatar character, that's what I'm going to call them.
Yeah.
Whenever you had the
stand-in for the game player.
Whenever you had the avatar character, they had one of the starter Pokemons, or the rival had one of the starter Pokemons. Yeah. So Barry had Empoleon, and Hop had...
or as I call him, Piplup.
Yeah.
I made sure my Piplup would never evolve because I was like, I want him to stay cute and little. I actually gave him the little stone that keeps him from evolving.
Yeah, so they all had one. I saw, like when Lysander was giving his rant, or they were talking about the Now my brain is just spinning because there's just so many starter Pokemon, and it's just like, there's starter Pokemons everywhere. You saw the Tepig with the Avatar character, and then...
Well, and Alola was interesting because you just see the starter Pokemon, like, playing around with people. You don't necessarily see them with the actual person.
Yeah.
Because Litten, Rowlet, and Poplio just are playing on the dock with some people.
I was about to say, do you see the Avatar character at all? But then I was like,
briefly,
she was there
very
with Lily.
briefly.
She was there with Lily. With the flutes.
But they don't really focus on her, except for in like one scene. It's all on Lily.
Yeah, like she's there with Lily, but you don't see her because you're all like the focus is completely on her, and then Lily's having like this like the thing, and then she steps up with Lily, and then it's just like, okay, there's the two of them together. It's just Lily.
Yeah. No, as I said, the fun part of Evolutions is the focusing on the other characters and just playing spot the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Even if you don't enjoy, if you get lost because you're not sure what's going on, it's just fun to play spot the Pokemon. Find your Pikachus and find your starter Pokemon and that. So we gave our rating for Pokemon Evolutions. What about the Pokemon in general? Do you like games, anime? Do you think this is a franchise that's going to continue for another 25 years?
Please. I don't think Pokemon's ever going away.
It is a permanent fixture in so many people's lives. It is a permanent
fixture in pop culture. Like, it's just so... The thing about Pokemon that I think is going to keep it going is because it appeals to a younger audience.
And keeps its older audience.
I know audience. That's true.
More people who started with Pokemon when they were kids and are still playing it.
Well, that's sort of a thing about our generation, is we are very fixated on our childhoods in a way that I think the previous generations aren't.
Except for the fact I never played video games as a kid. I didn't get it. I didn't play my first video game until I was in college.
Okay.
So,
but did you like watch the anime or at all?
My brothers did. I didn't like it. Okay.
Well, so that differs from person to person. But
Pokemon came out when my brothers were around about like 9 and 6, and I was 12.
Yeah.
So I was
a little bit older
I felt a little bit too old for Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I saw some of it and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute, but I didn't. And I would watch it with my brothers now and then. But it was like Power Rangers. I didn't really care for it.
Yeah. Whereas, by the time when it came out, I was about the 6 to 9 range. So even before I was entirely aware of like franchises like that, like I had a little Dragonite toy that was from a Burger King meal, and I saw the Pokemon movies, and then I moved to the United States when I was 7. My parents were military, if you keep that in there. And some of the kids I was playing with had Ruby or Sapphire, and I was like, oh man, that's when I was really starting to get into handheld games.
As I said, Fox Kids was kind of my introduction to a lot of anime. Because we didn't have cable, and they had the Pokemon, Digimon, and Samurai Pizza Cats. And there's a whole long story about Samurai Pizza Cats.
Pizza Cats.
Yes, I will.
It can't be any weirder than the stuff that Henry finds on Netflix.
Well, it starts out with Samurai Pizza Cats. So if you want to have some fun, look up the Samurai Pizza Cats theme song in English. It's interesting.
I'm going to ask Nick if he knows what
it's a little bit like a Power Rangers with cats, and they run a pizza delivery business. And the villain is called the Big Cheese.
I love it.
But yeah, it's, as I said, Pokemon, I could see the nostalgia doing a lot of it.
Yes.
But you also see a lot of new kids coming into it also.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've now talked about a little over half an hour on Pokemon, its franchise, and everything.
There's so much.
There is so much. There's so much lore behind Pokemon, too. That's the scary part. It's a little bit like when I started diving into Sailor Moon. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a whole mythology. It's not just a cute girl who transforms and beats bad guys. Pokemon has its own mythology and everything.
Yeah.
All right. My last final question. Do you think they actually eat Pokemon? Or is everybody in the Pokemon world vegetarian? Because there are no animals. There's just Pokemon.
No. There's definitely animals. They just don't show them.
Only in the first... I heard that there were no animals. That they apparently made it canon that there were only Pokemon living in.
But that's just so weird.
Which means Pokemon eat each other.
They do. I won't dispute that.
Yeah, because Bonsweet smells... Because Bonsweet, I remember his little thing is that he smells so sweet that all the Pokemon want to eat him.
Yeah, no. That's definitely canon, is that Pokemon will eat each other. But do people eat Pokemon?
They milk them.
They milk them.
Because there's that cow Pokemon they actually milk.
Yeah, Milk Tank. You can get Milk Tank milk.
Yeah. Or are they all vegetarian?
And, there's the whole thing about slowpoke tails being a delicacy. So it's just sort of a weird thing to think about. It's like one of those things you don't want to
It's one of those things that if you want to break somebody's mind who's just, sort of part of Pokemon, but not deep into it, and just ask them, so do people eat Pokemon? And you watch them just go, what?
Because Pokemon aren't animals. They're not.
But we milk them?
I mean... There are some Pokemon who are literally just like food, sentient food, okay?
Yeah. So, anyway, on that note...
Why did you want to make me think about that?
Because it's the beginning of it's our equivalent of a Monday morning, and we need to think about these.
Thanks, Karlene.
All right. Thanks, Erica, for coming and talking about Pokemon with me. And now that I've left you with that disturbing thought, we'll call it a quits.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you all for joining me today in this talk about Pokemon. There is so much more to talk about with this franchise that I feel pretty confident we'll be having another episode on it. Maybe one focusing on the video game or a movie, or maybe even just have people come in and randomly tell me their favorite Pokemon and why, because everyone I meet seems to have a favorite Pokemon. If you have any thoughts or comments about our show today, please send me an email in our show notes, and you can also send me recommendations. I'm always happy to get recommendations, and I would have a great time going through those and seeing if there's anything new I haven't seen yet. I will say I am currently very much looking forward to next month because I will have a new guest on to come and talk about anime with me. And with that, I hope you guys have a lot of fun and watch a ton of anime in the coming month. Goodbye.